When it comes to serving hot food, chefs have to be careful to ensure that the food remains at the proper temperature from the moment it is cooked until it reaches the customer's plate. This can be a challenging task, especially in busy restaurants where food is being prepared and served quickly. In this article, we will take a closer look at some of the techniques that chefs use to keep food hot. One of the simplest ways that chefs keep food hot is by using heat lamps. These lamps are placed above the food, and they use infrared light to warm the food without drying it out or cooking it further. This is a great option for dishes that need to be kept warm for a long time, such as roasted meats or casseroles. Another common technique that chefs use to keep food hot is to use steam tables. These tables have heating elements underneath them, and they use steam to heat the food and keep it warm. The steam also helps to retain the moisture in the food, so it doesn't dry out. This is a popular option for dishes like soups, stews, and vegetables. Another way that chefs keep food hot is by using chafing dishes. These dishes have a heat source, usually a candle or a fuel gel, underneath them, and they use the heat to warm the food. This is a great option for dishes that need to be kept warm for a short period of time, such as appetizers or desserts. In addition to these methods, chefs also use a variety of other techniques to keep food hot. For example, they may use warming trays, which are large, flat surfaces that have heating elements underneath them. They may also use insulated containers, which are designed to keep food hot for a longer period of time. Overall, there are many different ways that chefs keep food hot, from heat lamps and steam tables to chafing dishes and warming trays. There are a variety of tools and techniques that chefs can use to ensure that their food is served at the proper temperature. By using these methods, chefs can provide their customers with hot, delicious food that is sure to satisfy their hunger. How do chefs keep their food warm? As a chef, one of the most important things you can do is keep your food warm. There are a few different ways to do this, and each has its own benefits. Here are a few ways to keep your food warm. Use a chafing dish or warming tray. This is probably the most common way to keep food warm at a buffet or catering event. Chafing dishes and warming trays use heat to keep food warm, so it's important to make sure they're not placed in an area where they'll get too much direct heat, like near a stove. These devices work best when used with foods that have been pre-cooked or that don't need cooking, like vegetables. Cover foods with foil or parchment paper. If you're keeping food warm on the stovetop, in the oven, or in the slow cooker, covering them with foil or parchment paper can help trap in heat and prevent them from drying out. Make sure to leave some space between the food and the edge of the pan so hot air can circulate. Use insulating materials like towels or blankets. Wrapping hot pans and casseroles in towels or blankets can help them retain heat for longer periods of time. This is especially helpful if you need to transport hot foods somewhere else, like from the kitchen to the dining room table. Just be careful not to use too many layers. You don't want your food to get too steamy. What keeps food the hottest? When it comes to food, there are a lot of factors that can affect how hot or cold it is. If you're looking to keep your food the hottest, there are a few things you can do. First, make sure to preheat your oven before cooking. This will help ensure that your food cooks evenly and at the right temperature. Secondly, consider using cookware that will help retain heat. such as cast iron or ceramic. And finally, don't forget to insulate. Wrapping your food in foil or parchment paper can help keep the heat in and prevent it from escaping. By following these tips, you can help keep your food hotter for longer, perfect for those winter months when we all crave something warm.